Good morning, students. Welcome to the next lecture of electronic measurements and instrumentation. So, in this class, we will see the concepts of review of AC bridges, comparison of AC and DC bridges, errors and precautions in using bridges. Okay, the first one, review of AC bridges. So, these are the totally 7 variety of AC bridges. In these AC bridges, this is the capacitance comparison bridge. In this capacitance comparison bridge, we have 4 resistors and 2 capacitors, wherein R1 and R3 are the variable resistors. So, okay, in this fourth arm, the unknown capacitance value and resistance value is available. So, in this bridge, we have measured this unknown capacitance value with the help of remaining 3 arms. So, in the remaining 3 arms, the values are completely known values. In this fourth arm, the values are unknown. In the same way, the inductance comparison bridge is also available. In the inductance comparison bridge, at the fourth arm, we have some unknown inductance value. That inductance value we have measured with the help of remaining all 3 known values of these components. Okay, in the remaining arms, all the component values are we know at the starting only. So we don't know the fourth arm component values. So this is about capacitance and inductance comparison bridge. These 2 bridges are the basic AC bridges. These 2 AC bridges which are used for finding the unknown inductance and capacitance parameters. So other than these 2, with the more functionalities, in the next upcoming days, some of the authors they proposed Maxwell's bridge, Wien's bridge, Anderson's bridge, Hayes bridge, Schering bridge. These are the different types of bridges we have in the AC bridges category. So this is the Maxwell's bridge. With the help of this Maxwell bridge, we are measuring unknown inductance value. So in this bridge, we have a RC parallel combination and a RL in the series combination. So where we have measured the unknown inductance value with the known capacitance values. And next coming to the Hayes bridge. In the Hayes bridge, we have a series combination of R and C and a series combination of R and L. So these inductance values we are knowing, we have to measure with the help of remaining components which are placed in the remaining arms. Next, Schering bridge. In this Schering bridge, in the one arm we have an RC parallel combination, and in one more arm there is no resistive parameters, only capacitance values are available. In the fourth arm we have unknown capacitance. That unknown capacitance value we have measured from this Schering bridge. And next coming to that, Wien's bridge. With the help of this Wien bridge, we have measured the frequency values of that bridge. So here we are using Wien's bridge for measuring the unknown frequency and unknown capacitance value, which will be available in the third arm. So this is the Wien bridge. And last one, Anderson's bridge. With the help of Anderson's bridge, we are measuring in the first arm unknown inductance and resistance values, that is R1 and L1 values we are measuring, where these 2 components are in the series, that is R1 and L1. So this is about Anderson's bridge. So these are the total 7 AC bridges are available. So we have to practice all the bridges in a perfect way, and we have to remember what are the configurations and connections and what are the bridge balancing conditions we have for these bridges. Okay. Right. Next, we will see the comparison of AC and DC bridges. So, see here, I have taken one side the parameter, whatever the parameter, based on the parameter, I am going to compare the AC bridges, DC bridges. So, this is about AC bridges, this is DC bridges. First, we will see the definition of AC bridge. So, coming to the definition, the AC bridge, the bridge which is used for measuring the value of unknown impedances. So for measuring the unknown impedances, it may be inductance or capacitance. So these type of components we are going to measure. So this is the definition of AC bridge. Next, the DC bridge measures the unknown resistance of the circuit. So the DC bridge definition is, it is used for measuring the unknown resistance value. And next coming to that, power supply parameter. So the power supply parameter for AC bridges is the AC source, and for the DC bridges the source is DC supply. Here we are using DC supply and here we are using AC supply. And the third one, detector for measuring the current flow or other parameters. So the detector in the AC bridge we are using an AC detector and in the DC bridges we are using the DC detector. Next, the components. What are the components are available in these bridges? In the AC bridges we have resistance and reactive components, and DC bridges we have only resistance components. In the DC bridges we have only resistive components. And Wagner's earthing connection, Wagner's earth ground connection. So here, wherever the AC source is connected, there may be a chance of leakages of voltages and it may be caused to some of the fluctuations. So the ground connection is 100% required in the AC bridges. Here in the DC bridges it is optional. It may be not required in the DC bridges. Okay. So Wagner's earth ground connection is compulsory in the AC bridges. Next, coming to that, types of bridges. Here in the total we have 7 different types of AC bridges are available. Here we have majorly 2 types of DC bridges are available, Wheatstone and Kelvin bridges. Next, coming to that, the most important parameter, balancing time. So the balancing time is in the AC bridges is very relatively less. In the DC bridge it is very high. That means we can balance the time perfectly, but it is not available. And coming to the last one, examples of AC bridges and DC bridges. We know the DC bridges example, Wheatstone and Kelvin, and we have the AC bridges examples, capacitance comparison bridge, inductance comparison bridge, Maxwell's bridge, Anderson's bridge, Wien's bridge, Hayes bridge. So these are the different types of AC bridges here we have. So this is about the comparison of AC and DC bridges. Let us have a look. Okay, right. Next. Here, errors and precautions in using bridges. When you are using bridges, what are the errors and precautions are available? So it's very important to know which type of sources, which type of detector and which type of resistors we are using in the bridges. It is very, very important. Assuming that a suitable method of measurement has been selected and that the source and the detector are given, there are some precautions which must be observed to obtain accurate reading. For getting the accurate readings, we have to take a suitable detectors and suitable sources. These are the very, very important for in the measuring of accurate results. The leads should be carefully laid out in a such a way that no loops or long lengths enclosing magnetic flux are produced, with consequent stray inductance errors. So here we have to reduce the long length of the wires and we have to reduce the coil sizes based on the given requirements. These are the very, very important parameters for producing the correct EMFs or flux produced in that arms. These are the very important considerations. So whatever the magnetic flux we are enclosing to produce in that circuit, that is very important, and the stray inductance errors we have to reduce. We have to reduce the stray inductance errors. Next, with a large L value, the self capacitance of the leads is more important than their inductance. So they should be spaced relatively far apart. So when you are placing the large values of inductance parameters, you have to make maintain some distance in between the capacitance and inductance parameters. There may be we can reduce the radiation effects, or it may be some of the electrical noise parameters we can reduce by giving some of the distance between these two components. We have to maintain some far distance in between these two. In measuring a capacitor, it is important to keep the lead capacitances as low as possible. It is very, very important. When you are measuring the capacitance values, the electrical leads or contact wise capacitance, we have to make it very, very, very low. For this reason, the leads should not be too close together and should be made of fine wires. So we have to connect these leads with a good quality wires, which will doesn't have maximum with less resistive or capacitive parameters. In very precise inductive and capacitance measurements, leads are encased in a metal tubes to shield them from mutual electromagnetic action, and they are used for design to completely shield the bridge. So, wherever the components are required to expose to the uses purpose, we have to expose. The remaining all the contact wise or leads, we have to close with a shield. That means we have to use some insulating material or coating to cover these leads. These leads are wires. Okay, it is very important. So to maintain the accurate results or to get the good values, good measuring values, we have to reduce the contact or lead resistances or capacitances in these AC bridges and DC bridges. So these are some of the precautions while using in the bridges. Okay, thank you. These are the three topics we have discussed in this video. The first one, review of AC bridges. Next, we have seen the AC bridges, DC bridges comparison differences, and last one we have seen the precautions. Okay, in the next lecture we will see the concept of Q meter. Okay, thank you.